Welcome to the Kelly Healing Project, where we have real conversations about healing, growth, and stepping into your power. I'm Kelly, and I'm so glad you're here. Have you ever noticed that we celebrate the big moments in life, but we rarely celebrate the small decisions that actually got us there? We think transformation happens because of one big breakthrough, one huge decision, one life-changing event, but in reality, most lives change quietly. It's the small habits no one applauds, the decisions no one sees, the ordinary moments that quietly become extraordinary lives. So, one of the biggest lies we believe is that growth should feel exciting. But healing usually doesn't feel that way. It sometimes looks like going to bed earlier, drinking more water, reading 10 pages, taking a walk, meditating for 5 minutes, turning your phone off, saying no. None of these moments feel remarkable, but they compound. So imagine planting an oak tree. You water it, nothing. Next week, nothing. 1 month, still nothing exciting, but underground, roots are growing. Growth is happening before it's visible. So much of our healing happens beneath the surface before anyone, including you, can see it. And a lot of my life, it felt like, it didn't make a difference. Those small moments didn't make a difference, but they truly did. And also, when you're healing and you're on this huge healing journey, which I was, I guess I still am, but it can feel like it's going to be that way forever. Like that, nothing's ever going to change, that this is how my life is always going to be. And that is not always the case. If you put in enough time and effort and work into something, it can eventually change. But a lot of it's small decisions that you make, that they build up over time, and at the time they feel insignificant, but they're building your foundation. They're building a whole new life that, honestly, is a lot different than what you've experienced, especially when your nervous system felt like, chaos was normal. When you start doing certain things that, provide more peace and more calm and resting, and that it's going to feel kind of weird, and it's going to feel like, this is not normal. But that's okay. But just remember that the small moments, they add up over time. And so you would be amazed at how far you can go in just a year, in 5 years, in 10 years, 15 years. It's crazy. And because time's going to pass anyways, so you might as well be doing it and working towards something that's going to make you a better person. So we usually think our habits change our schedule, but habits actually change our identity. So every workout says, I'm someone who takes care of myself. Every boundary says, my peace matters. Every healthy meal says, I respect my body. Every meditation says, my mind deserves quiet. Every promise you keep to yourself becomes evidence for the kind of person you're becoming. So you don't become confident first. You become confident by collecting evidence that you can trust yourself. And how do you trust yourself? Is you keep promises to yourself. And the confidence is taking the action and doing things even if you don't truly know the outcome or you don't feel confident yet. It's knowing that you can learn, and no matter what it is, if it's something new, that eventually you will learn enough and you will be better at it. And confidence is just knowing that, no matter what, that you're going to be perfectly okay. And the more that I get out there and the more that I do things that at the time will feel uncomfortable, because I want the confidence to come first, but that's really not how it works. Just getting out there and doing it, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if it's making videos and doing content, and it's going to feel weird, and you're going to feel, you're going to have some resistance towards it because it's not new. It doesn't feel natural. but you have to keep going. It's almost like exposure therapy. The more that you do it, the more it becomes easier. And then you're like, oh, I got this. And then, then eventually I've done enough stuff where I know that I'm going to be okay and I catch on quickly. And so I'm going to be just fine. So I know that no matter comes my way, I'm going to catch on really quickly and I'm probably going to make it look easy, even if it's not. And I know that was the way, even with this healing journey, I probably make it look really easy. But a lot of the times it wasn't easy. It was hard and it felt like a lot of resistance and just a lot of stuff. But guess what? I kept going. I didn't fucking stop. If anybody, I think a lot of people, I personally feel like a lot of people underestimate me, which is kind of funny, but I like letting people just underestimate me. You think what you want, but literally I have so much drive and discipline and I don't give up no matter what. I don't. And that makes, if you have enough like drive for something and you never stop, you will be successful. But a lot of people, they start doing something and, I did this for a week and I haven't seen the rewards yet. So, I'm just going to stop. Or, hey, I want to go to the gym and I want to work out and I want to have a 6-pack, but I've never been in the gym before and I did it for a week and I don't see the 6-pack yet. So I'm just going to stop. Okay. You can't expect to get rewarded for something you've only done like a few times. Like, that's crazy. It takes a lot longer. It adds up over time. But I love imagining that my future self is watching today's decisions. So future you notices whether you forgave yourself, whether you practiced patience, whether you chose courage, whether you kept going. Every decision is casting a vote, not for perfection, for identity. So if someone you hope to become were watching you today, what would they thank you for? Truly, I want you to think about that. Like, what would they thank you for? But also, too, I want to remind people listening that perfection, a lot of times, it's just a way to self-sabotage, and it's just a way to not get started. And a lot of people, they don't get started because they want everything to be perfect. Well, there's no such thing as perfect. So you're going to be waiting forever, and it's really, you've got some sort of belief that's underlying it, that's preventing you from starting. You think that everything has to be perfect, and that's how you self-sabotage yourself, is you think, I'm going to start when everything's perfect. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So you're going to be waiting for a long time. People love dramatic change, crash diets, New Year's resolutions, huge decorations, but sustainable growth usually looks boring. So reading 10 pages, walking daily, one podcast, one journal entry, one healthy meal, one conversation, those ordinary choices become extraordinary years. The life you want isn't created by one incredible day. It's created by hundreds of ordinary ones. Even going to the gym. I've been working out for almost 2 years and I've gotten so much stronger. And, certain things that I used to not like doing, I thoroughly enjoy them. Even cutting my grass, because now I feel like a badass because I push that lawnmower around like it's nothing. And literally, and I probably make it look easy. I enjoy it. Even one time I went to the store and I had to get cat food. And that was the only thing that I had. So instead of taking the cart out, I was able to take that thing and put it over my shoulder and walk out with it. Because it was like nothing. Like it felt like it didn't weigh anything. But that wasn't just one day of going to the gym. That was over 2 years of consistent effort. And there were even days or weeks where, I was sick or I couldn't make it to the gym or I was recovering from sickness. And it took a while to get my strength back. But I promise you, if you keep going and you keep making those decisions, that they will pay off. Even eating healthy. Like there was a point where even I had a lot of stress going on and I gained some weight. And it's funny how all it took was one decision and one promise to myself. And I lost so much weight in the matter of several months. It's amazing how intermittent fasting can just game change. You eat the same amount of food, but you just restrict the time window. Your weight will drop off because you allow your blood sugar like enough time for it to go down. If your blood sugar is always spiked and it's always high, you're not going to lose the weight. Your body's going to keep trying to hold on to it. But a lot of real weight loss when you get in ketosis is when your blood sugar is low enough. But that's a conversation for another day. But anyways, but I keep going. I started that in 2020, and, it's been maintaining it. And then now I've gotten at a weight that, God, last time I was at that weight, like, it was crazy. So I've already gotten down below my like lowest weight that I've ever been at. And it's great. And I love it. And now I'm realizing I can do this, because a lot of times, sometimes you think, well, I've always been this weight. It's impossible. No, it's not. No, it's not. And don't let the diet industry gaslight you, because they will. Just think, like the diet industry and all of that, like it's like $1 billion industry. I don't know. Is it true? No, I'm sure billion. It's $1 billion industry. They literally make money keeping you fat. So don't let them say, oh, well, but your metabolism will slow if you don't eat a lot of food. You can't do that. I have never seen a prisoner of war come out of, maybe, not having food for several weeks and come out fatter. If you want to lose weight, it's not impossible. Obviously, you need to be healthy about it. And with anything, there is a balance. You can't be on one extreme. One extreme of too much, it's too much. One extreme of not eating enough, that's too much. You need to have a healthy balance. You need everything in balance, like yin and yang. Everything needs to be balanced. But what I'm saying is, if you truly want to lose weight, you just need to not eat as much. And the abs are made in the kitchen. You've heard that. There's times where I worked out, why isn't the weight coming in? Most of it's your diet. You can't outrun a bad diet. And some of it, and y'all, this turned into something completely different, but some of y'all don't want to hear this, but some of y'all emotionally eat. You regulate your nervous system through food. And don't get me wrong, I have been a victim of this, and I've done it too, which I am working through, and it's getting better and it's getting easier. But, I grew up watching my mom just have a whole tub of ice cream and just eating the whole thing in one sitting. She used sugar as some sort of Band-Aid. It's like that I can't remember what the chemicals, but it's like all the chemicals that she gets when she eats. It somehow helped her regulate her nervous system. And so I didn't really have a healthy example of what it's like to eat. And even when I wanted to try to learn how to cook, her OCD took over, and I couldn't even, I started making pancakes, but then it came to a point where she didn't want to see the kitchen dirty, so I couldn't even make pancakes anymore. So she never really taught me how to cook. I had to learn myself. And that was another area of my life where that there was a lot of trauma related to that, because I felt like I was put at a disadvantage because nobody properly taught me how to cook. I didn't know. Anyways, I'm getting better at it, and I'm becoming more confident. And it was also a way to, when you doubt yourself all the time and nobody's taught you how to cook, that will be a difficult subject for you. So even when you have kids, you'll have maybe signature dishes that maybe somebody, my father taught me, and, that's all but I did the best that I could, and now it's a hell of a lot better. And now I'm so grateful for everything I went through, because it has shown me how strong and resilient and amazing that I am, and all the power that I truly have. And you can tap into this power too. This is not but most people, they disempower themselves all the time. They give their power away, and they become a slave to, I don't know, their circumstances or their situation. And also another way, I know it's turning into a little bit all over the place. That's okay. But another way people disempower themselves, they blame other people for things. Well, this is the way that I am. It's because of my parents. You're not taking responsibility. You're putting the power in their hands. Grow enough balls and say, hey, listen, this may have been what happened to me, but I have a choice in it. And you know what? I'm going to take this and I'm going to put I'm going to put a lot of effort towards myself, because guess what? I am fucking worth it. And excuse the language, but I am worth it. And just having this drive and tenacity that no matter what, that you are going to reach your goals, that is memorable. That is inspirational. That is incredible. Sometimes I just say it like it is, and I know it can piss people off. I really don't care. The thing is, y'all know I'm right, but it's like y'all don't want to accept it. And some people, they want to live in their own disillusion, their own delusional world where they don't accept responsibility and they want to blame other people. And, that's a shitty life. Don't sign me up for that. My life's a lot funner. And, I don't know. I thoroughly enjoy life. It really is fun. It used to not be that way, but it sure as hell is turning in that way now. The more that I release and the more that I just tap into me, and I love it. So many people think that there's some future version of themselves they'll finally arrive at. I don't think that's the goal. The goal isn't to become perfect. It's becoming more honest, more peaceful, more loving, more grounded, more authentic, more you. Healing isn't adding something. Sometimes it's removing everything that convinced you that you weren't already enough, because, you are worthy enough as you are right now. But society or other people can convince you that that is not the case. And you could even have people that make you feel like you are hard to love. But that's not necessarily true. Like I said, everything is a projection. So how people treat you is how they treat themselves. And you also, and I read people really good, but also beware if somebody talks really negatively about other people. I would stay clear of that. And that's happened to me even when I used to try to date, and I was like, oh, and it's funny how they think they have you fooled, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, we're just rolling with it. We're going to act like, and then eventually, anyways. It's just kind of funny. I don't know how I just literally see through it all. And I know people probably know that I can literally see through them. Like, I see the real you, and you don't like that because you don't like the you. Even my authenticity, I know that it triggers other people who aren't being authentic. It just shows you, it's a mirror for you to see how you're not being authentic in your own world. But that's not my problem. That's a you problem. And if you're so busy running away from your problems, God, they have so much control over you. How about you get enough balls? I'm sorry, I don't know what it is with balls today. Please forgive me. But you get enough balls and you actually face the things that feel scary. Every time you're triggered, face it head on. Heal it. Work through it. Why do I feel this? Journal it. And you'd be surprised, some of this stuff is not even you, and it's what maybe people have projected onto you, and somehow you took it on as your own. Stop carrying the burdens of other people. There's so many people that do that, and they don't even realize they're walking around with everybody else's burdens on their back. And you wonder why your back hurts. You're busy carrying the burdens for other people. Stop it. Be more aware of yourself, your energy, and what you are carrying, because you don't need to carry everybody else's problems. Have boundaries and be aware of your own energy and what you are carrying. So imagine yourself 10 years from now. The future you sits beside you. What would they thank you for? Not making more money? Not getting more followers? Maybe they thank you for finally resting, finally leaving, finally speaking up, finally forgiving yourself, finally believing in yourself. Just remember that these moments begin today. So you don't need one extraordinary breakthrough. You need ordinary habits practiced consistently. Progress, boundaries, kindness, presence, rest, gratitude. Those quiet choices become your life. So thank you so much for listening to the Kelly Healing Project. Remember that healing is not about becoming someone new. It's about reconnecting with who you truly are, healing the past, empowering your future. If you'd like to connect further, you can visit me at thekellyhealingproject.com. I'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.